Okay, so, well, I thought I'd go into something that I never really show on the camera, part of me. And, you know, it's not coming across the same as it does live. But I'm just constantly holding these conversations, these debates, these arguments. And in this case, well, I was thinking about my genitals. And not too surprisingly, I was wondering why they're plural. Now, other people have covered this, you know, why is it a pair of pants? Where's one pant, right? And that's kind of an interesting one because, well, I've got a pair of socks, right? I can take one off and I have a single sock. If I only have one foot, I have a reason to have one sock. But other things like a pair of pants is disturbing because, well, there's sort of this hose relationship, socks to hose to pants. So I start thinking, okay, maybe that's how it ends up being there, so you have one pant. Okay, but you can't wear a pant, it won't even stay up. But perhaps pantaloons comes from something like that, but then why is it we wear a pair of panties? Well, maybe not I, but my wife certainly does. And when we come to that, well, or a pair of shorts, and that's somehow being translated from a pair of pants. I don't wear a pair of shirts, even though they each have a sleeve, right? So that's kind of disturbing. And then a pair of scissors. What's up with that? Because obviously I have a pair of blades, but as far as I know, blades aren't called scissor or anything like that. And I'm not quite sure where that would translate in. But then I started thinking about genitals again. Because I started thinking genitalia. Okay, what would that be? That would be a Latin term, and it's got a very plural form. So is there genitalium? And so, unlike, you know, pants, which is very obviously not a Latin word, and scissors, which I have no reason to believe is, it doesn't sound like it has a Latin basis. These sound like very modern inventions, and by very modern I mean in the last millennium or so. But genitals are rather old. I believe we've had them for quite a while. No, but the term is an old term, and it seems to have held that plural leading into our usage today. And then, of course, I also was thinking about, well, now, what would you divide them into? And with a male, that's very easy, right? You know, I mean, I've got a cock and two balls, three different things, so I've got three genitals, right? Well, that doesn't seem quite right, you know. I mean, it doesn't seem at all wrong to say I have two gonads, but it seems absolutely wrong to say I have three genitals. But then, let's say I stretch that and accept it, and I start thinking towards the female anatomy. Well, where are their genitals? Do they just have a genital? Or do you start dividing up their sexual parts, which aren't as easily distinguishable because they're not hanging out there like little blobs of stuff that seems to have fallen out of the internals? Anyway. I guess I rant on more when I'm in person with these kind of things. But this is kind of what having to deal with me is like. So forgive those who do have to deal with me in person. Cheers.